Okay. So right here again, live, about to show some of them mounds we was talking about earlier. Okay, so I want to show this one right here first, Alabama. Now, you see this mound right here, how big this mound is behind this mall? Gives you an idea of how big they would build things. Look at this. Hidden in plain sight. Look at this mound. Alabama. Crazy. We don't know nothing about it. So we're gonna look at this stuff. Another and one in particular I really wanted to point out was this this mound right here. It's more like a complex of mounds. It's in Arkansas. It's called the Toltec Mound. Toltec. The Toltec Mounds with an S. See it there? Toltec Mound, Arkansas. It's up there by Little Rock. Now, Toltec is significant because there's a Toltec, Mexico, right there, kind of by, where the Aztecs and the Olmecs and everything right there, going south in Mexico. Okay, there's a Toltec there. It's like in a previous video, we talked about Mesopotamia and then there being a Mesopotamia, Mexico down there, right there before you get to Guatemala. Uh, yeah, so, and then Montezuma, the area in of one of those counties that was originally called Montezuma. Okay, so there's a major connection between the area up here in North America and basically all of the rest of the areas. There's major connections. Canada, Mexico, South America, down in Brazil, Peru, Chile, Argentina, all the way down there. This whole place. So we're gonna keep on looking at these mounds. Here's a mound in Kentucky, and they were built by the same folks. It wasn't like different races of folks and blah blah blah. Nah, the same people. We never even heard about them. This one's called the Serpent Mound. It's like 1,300 feet long. Look at it, and it's over 5,000 years old. This thing right here, Indian Mound, Serpent Indian Mounds. They have this one right here. It's in northeast Louisiana, called the Poverty Point. It's huge, massive. Poverty Point earthworks. Here's one right here called the Alligator Mound. It's in Ohio as well. It's still there, hidden in plain sight. How you doing, Albert? Okay, well, I'm still live. Just showing these mounds. Showing these little mounds right here. Here's one in Oklahoma. Claremore Mound, 6 miles northwest of Claremore. Famous Cherokee and Osage Indian tribes. Look. New Jersey. Look at here. It's the mound behind the tree. They got it covered. It's back there though. This is one here. This is in Virginia, the northern tippy top of Virginia, Shenandoah, the Shenandoah River Village. Look at all these mounds in between all this stuff. It's a major, major complex there. See how this, it's South Carolina. Look at these ones. Straight Indian mounds. Look at that. Never even heard about them. Tennessee got them too. Major, major. Look at that. So they would bury their deceased in there, and on the bottom they would build their homes at the top, make a platform, and build a house up there. All kinds of things. They live inside of some of them too as well. The kings and stuff would get up there and talk to his people. Here's one in Louisiana, the Watson Break. It's supposed to be like 54,000 years old. I'm not 5,400 years old, I believe. Excuse me. I'm down in Florida. Get that massive thing right there. That's the mound. They got mounds on the LSU campus. Then they, of course, they would like have little made ones, drew out ones, or sketched, or something that looked like this. You see the water on this side. There's a barrier all the way around it with the mounds inside. The major mound. See, mound on top of the platform mound. See, something like a. It's like a pyramid. Very, very old stuff. Civilizations, towns, and villages, like we talked about in the 1500s in Alabama, right? Okay, so let's look at some of the remains that was brought up out of some of them. So here's one in Stockton. It says huge skeletons of Indians found, Stockton, California. Three skeletons, one 7 feet long, have been uncovered by Harry T. Sanford College of the Pacific archaeologists and a crew of men engaged in excavating an Indian burial mound near Garewood Ferry Bridge. There are believed to be the largest Indian skeletons ever unearthed in California. All right. So 7 footer Indian, right? Like we said, the Chief Tuscaloosa down in Alabama was huge, right? Okay. Giants, graves in California. New race of men dug up with stone implements unlike any others. Some of these skeletons are those of men measuring no less than 7 feet and perhaps more. Femur bones already sent to the university measure 21 inches in length. The skeletons represent a most astonishing race of people who probably inhabited this country thousands of years ago. So they say, right? So he says. Some of the skulls are large, with high foreheads and well rounded. Okay, well rounded, while others appear ape like, it says, retreating from an inch above the frontal bone, with the top of the head flat and with small for brain cavity. Well, they did, some of the tribes practice head flattening, so that explains that thing there. So okay, Maryland skeletons, gigantic skeletons of prehistoric Indians, nearly 8 feet tall, have been discovered along the banks of the Choptank River, Maryland, by the employee of the Maryland Academy of Science, huh? Academy of Science. Well, nearly 8 feet tall, huh? So seven something. All right. Maryland. That's in Maryland. They said they've discovered along the banks. Okay, they discovered them along the banks. All right. But to go back to this, I mean, Giants in California. Okay, San Francisco Giants. I just have to point that out because we already seen in the book where it said they were athletic. So, we just I gotta point out those words because they always reoccur somehow. So, what's this one? It's Indian Mound finds. McMinnville College will send some of the specimens east. Excavators have reached the center of the large Indian mound. Okay, okay, okay. What's this one? It says unearthed giant with horns. Unearthed giant with horns. Petrified body found by Tennessee miners and 6 feet 4 inches long. 6 foot four. They calling it a giant. All right. Knoxville, Tennessee. Workmen of the Keenstrunk Coal Company at Helenwood, Scott County, have found buried in the earth and petrified a giant 6 feet 4 inches tall, embedded in the one-time flesh about its neck is a beautiful chain. Huh. The fingers are perfect with long tapering nails. The hands are folded across the breast. On either side of its head are two horns, each about 4 inches in length. Its weight is about 450 pounds. Damn. 450 at 6'4". Okay. It is an exhibition in Helenwood where it is being visited by thousands. Yeah, he's getting their money, huh? Giant, 6'4", 450 pounds. Okay. Hmm. So these other things around here that's on the screen in this file are basically the memorials of the a lot of the mounds around this nation, right? Here's one in Texas. I'm gonna read it. Oh wow, what just happened? Let me see. It says Kadu Indian communities in the Cypress Creek drainage. It says comprised of various groups with distinct dialects and customs. The people known today as the Kadu once occupied a region that included parts of present Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Texas as early as AD 800. By the 16th century, which is the 1500s, the Kadu developed complex hierarchical hierarchical societies with civic and ceremonial centers, as well as advanced archaeological or agricultural practices. Early Spanish and French accounts provided historic records of the Kadu and their customs. Despite successful trade with the Europeans, especially the French, the Kadu eventually faced a rapidly declining population due to exposure to old world diseases. Okay, in the previous video, we talked about how they had burnt the weeds and ate them. They had their own herbs and stuff. They didn't really get sick like that. Period. They didn't get sick. So this right here, you never believe something like that. Okay, as well as the arrival of other Native American groups from the eastern United States. Huh. Anglo-American settlement in Texas further threatened and limited the Kadu homeland, and by the late 1850s, they were forced to relocate to Indian Territory, present Oklahoma. Today, the Kadu Nation headquarters is in Binger, Oklahoma, where members of the tribe maintain cultural traditions through pottery, song, dance, and language. Okay. As an ancestral homeland, this area is an important part of the Kadu's rich heritage. Archaeologists utilize records, artifacts, and landscape features to learn more about the tribe's history. Pottery styles, mound constructions, cemetery types, and farming methods reveal much about the Kadu and provide insight on settlement patterns, the family unit, inter interregional trade, and other elements of tribal life. Research at community sites in the area drained by Cypress Creek reveal elements of Kadu occupation dating from as early as AD 800 to 1680, in an era that included cultural contact with Europeans and southeastern Indian groups. Okay, so they're saying that somehow the Katu was weaker than Europeans and other southeastern Indian groups, and they were dissolved by them through whatever. I don't ever believe that. Okay, it's called the assimilation process, to where uh, documents was dealt with a certain way, to where you was a certain nationality, and then when you came back, it was a race. And same thing with them. They destroyed their own dang on records, and then they came back as documented Native Americans. So them people over there in Oklahoma that uh we'll move on. A lot of this stuff will tell on itself, though, if you look at the some of the dates of this stuff and add it to the dates of those documents was destroyed or abolished, reestablished, this and that and the other, you'll see a picture clearer. Alright, okay, so the other one says somehow in the 1600s or whatever, 1650. Okay, so this one's Swan Lake Mounds. It says on Swan's Lakes, four original mounds, three were arranged in a line running parallel to the lake. Of these, only Mound B is visible today. Mound A is located a short distance to the northeast. 16 feet in height, Mound A is oblong in shape and camp has a ramp extending from its summit towards Mound B. Reports from the 1940s demolition. Okay, so they didn't demolish it until 1940. All right. Of Mound C suggests that it was once a burial mound. Artifacts collected from the surface of the site indicate that Native Americans lived here from 400 AD, AD 400 to 1500. So 400 to 1500. So, and then they disappeared. Okay, got it. Hmm. Okay, so this is in Alabama. The Dolphin. This park and bird refuge dates from the Mississippian period AD 1100 to 1550. So that's 450 years of existence. That's what they're saying. Or at least the mound. All right, at least the mound. All right, got it. Native Americans who roasted oysters and fished in adjacent Dauphin Island Bay visited the shell mounds for centuries. From excavations carried out in 1990, okay, archaeologists learned that these shell mounds were occupied according to a seasonal schedule, most often in the late winter and spring. When viewed in profile, the shell mounds are seen to contain many layers, some thick ones made up particularly of oyster shells, and intertwining or intervening layers of charcoal, fish bones, and pot shreds. Or potsherds. This pattern was produced by repeated visits to the same location by small bands of people over many centuries. Many centuries, okay. The modern Choctaw and Creek tribes continued to fish and harvest oysters in the area until the 1830s. Hmm. Artifacts include many pieces of cooking pots broken by prehistoric occupants. Stone tools are scarce due to the difficulty of finding tool quality stone in the charcoal plain, or the coastal plain, excuse me. Uh, this park was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1973. Okay, those dates is kind of late, but we'll go with that. Protected archaeological sites. Stay on marked trails. Do not disturb plants, wildlife, artifacts, or the mounds. Knapp Trail, Plum Bayou Trail. Okay, Arkansas. Knapp, Knapp Trail. That's what's up. This is in Arkansas. What's it called? Toltec Mounds State Park. Okay, I told you there's a connection there. Look at this one. This says this site was occupied before 1802 by an Indian mound from 1802 to 1825 by the estate of Judge whatever whatever. But look right up here, it has a pot with the little swirls on it that we'll be getting into later on, artifacts and stuff. But see these arrowheads? See, they got them on their buildings. They got all kinds of the symbols of the indigenous Americans on all kinds of their stuff. Flags, crests, you name it. It's on there. They can't live without it. You understand? Cahaba, site of Alabama's first permanent capital, 1820 to 1826, county seat Dallas County, 1820 to 1866, prison for Union soldiers during the war between the states, 1863 to 65. Indians were the first inhabitants over 4,000 years ago. Their large fortified village could have been visited by DeSoto in 1840, located 5.5 miles south on the Alabama and Cabo rivers. So, right. Let's see here. Huh. This one says Indian grave on April 26, 1997. 64 human remains of the Chesapeake Indians were reinterred at this site. The Chesapeake Indians inhabited this area from about 800 BC, okay, BC to about 600 AD. So 1600, okay, 800 BC, that's before this era, right? Before the common era, right? 800 BC, then 1600. So, okay. The landing by the English colonists at Cape Henry on April 26, 1607, while en route to Jamestown Island, was observed by the Chesapeake Indians. The Nansemond Indian tribe planned and coordinated the reburial ceremony. Okay, so 64. Okay, okay. Said it was they were observed. It was observed by the Chesapeake Indians. All right, so hmm, let's see what this one in Florida talking about. Tierra Verde Mound, a large Indian burial mound, was built near this spot about 1500. It was used for some years by the inhabitants of a nearby Safety Harbor culture village. Indians who were among the ancestors of the later Takabago tribe. Excavation in 1961 by state agencies added to our knowledge of these people. Bottom line, they didn't say what the knowledge was. Nothing. It said we excavated it and we added to the knowledge that we have about them. That's all they said right there. Mind you, see this? This thing is a state of Florida. It always has their crest or symbol or something like that above it, on top of it, sitting on the top. See? See up there? See? See up there? See Texas sitting up there? Yeah, they're always up top like that, I noticed. So what's this? Hmm. Museum, 1892, Indian Mound Cottage. All right, Georgia. So this one is interesting right here. It says Indian Mound. This is in Georgia. It says once again, see above everything is this guy standing here with a that looked like a bow. 1776 says Rockefeller College, right? Indian Mound Rockefeller Cottage. This cottage was built by the younger brother of John D. Rockefeller, William G. Rockefeller, 1841 to 1922, one of the millionaire members of the Jekyll Island Club, built about 1900. It was called Indian Mound because of its adjacency to the old Indian Mound, believed to be a burial mound of the Gullah Indians or something like that. But there you go, right there, Gullah Indians, right? Muskogean stock, right? Who were the last Indian inhabitants of Jekyll Island. Okay, so they built this place in 1900. And these folks was the last inhabitants. So that's interesting. I looked them people up just to see what they look like. They look like this. These Gullah Indians. What they look like. See the bow? Oh, he had a shotgun, some old rifle right there. Boy, they both got rifles. Bow days is over, huh? pulling the trigger. You pulling the bolt, he pulling the trigger. All right, so here's some over here in Mississippi. Aguilla, huh? Mound. The Anguilla are so like a you say it a certain way. Gila Anguilla site consists of a single rectangular platform mound located on the south side of Deer Creek. The mound is currently 20 feet in height, but originally may have been taller. It was constructed by Native Americans during the late Woodland through Middle Mississippi periods between AD 1000 and 1400. Archaeological excavations carried out here in 2013 revealed that the mound was built in stages using a technique called basket loading. All right, so that's a deep symbol there. This is in PA, Pennsylvania. Largest Native American burial mound in western PA, 16 feet high and 85 feet wide. It was hand built by the Adena people between 200 BC and 100 AD and later used by the Hopewell people. Late 19th century, okay, the late 1800s. Excavations uncovered 33 skeletons and artifacts made of stone, copper, and shells. Okay, dig that. We gonna put this together. We gonna put it together, man. It's not hard. I found this thing interesting right here too. It says Kansas City Metro Control Project, Indian Mound, 2003. You see that pyramid there? Yeah, it's a survey marker. It's in 2003. They doing their thing. Whatever they doing, they doing it. See, Miami, the Pompano Beach Indian Mound. Continue from other side. Okay. Spanish accounts from the 16th century, that's 1500s, describe the Tequesta as a powerful Florida tribe whose main village was located along the shore of Biscayne Bay near the mouth of the Miami River in Miami-Dade County. The Tequesta were one of the first indigenous groups encountered by Spanish explorer Juan Ponce de Leon during his first voyage to Florida in 1513. In the 1560s, the Spanish established a fort. Okay, remember that. Remember, the first thing they would do was establish something they called a fort. See, and then all their people would gather up on it. They wouldn't be coming over here, doing all that stuff they were showing you in the movies. It wasn't happening. Fort and mission among the Tequesta and took the brother of the principal Tequesta chief to Spain. Okay, took the brother of the chief to Spain, right? He returned to Florida and helped mediate relations between the Spanish and Indians. Okay, the brother did. The Pompano Beach Mound has been of interest to archaeologists for over 85 years. Excavations at this site have yielded pottery, ceramics, carved bone, shell, and wood tools, and human remains. In 1926, the city of Pompano Beach created a park to protect the Indian Mound and its contents. Okay, they created this park to protect the contents, right? But however, they know that it had ceramics, pottery, carved bone, shell, wood tools, and human remains. But okay, all right. The mound was placed on the Pompano Beach Local Registry of Historic Places in 2010 and the National Registry of Historic Places in 2014. It was recognized as a Florida Heritage Landmark in 2014. All right, okay, moving on. Funny stuff. It's real deep though, actually. Grave Creek Mound. This world famous burial mound was built by the Adena people sometime before the Christian era. Okay, before any of these 2019 years, that's the Christian era. So before then, the mound was originally 69 feet high. That's pretty high, and 295 feet in diameter. That's pretty wide, and was encircled by a moed or something. Encircled by a moat. I have to look that up. There were many mounds in the area, hence the city's name, Moundsville. In 1838, the Grave Creek Mound was tunneled into, and two long tombs with several burials and grave offerings were found. Hmm. Mind you, the people that are the Indians right now say that their ancestors did not build these mounds and they don't know who built them. Okay, that's what they say. But look right here. This is what they say in the Indian is. They got a memorial. See, you got the cleavage cover or whatever. But look at this owl he got behind him right here. I'll show you the artifacts. Artifacts correlate to animals like that, but not to the people that look like him. See, they washed him up pretty good. Huh. Okay. It says early memorial in 1866. Confederate Memorial Association was formed here. Hmm. Which on September 26, 1867, dedicated a monument to Confederate soldiers, one of the first erected anywhere. This was site of Indian cemetery long before white men came. Mm, understand that. Okay. It says in Germany Valley is the site of Hinkle's Fort. Remember Fort? Built in 1761, 1762. It was the only defense of the South Branch after Fort Upper Tract and Fort Sabert were destroyed by Shawnee Indians under Killbuck. Okay. So, Killbuck was the top Indian king, right? Of the Shawnee. Now, they remember the Shawnee? Or was that the. Yeah, I think it was the Shawnee from the other book. They try to make it seem like the Shawnee Indians was some kind of way back in the day people. And look, 1758, they was making sure these people was trying to make all these forts. Look how many forts is here. Hinkle's Fort, the South Branch. Hold up. The only defense in South Branch, the Fort Upper Tract and Fort Sabre were destroyed. You understand? They destroying them forts for a long time. Look, this is in Virginia. Remember, okay? Do a timeline. West Virginia. We already did we already looked in the books. We seen that all the people was a variation of this Negroid type, a peculiar peculiar people. Uh, okay, let's look at some more stuff. Wisconsin. Let's see. Indian Mounds and Village. At this site was the village of Chief Caramavnes of the Winnebago Indians. Across the street was his council house in the midst of seven effigy earth mounds representing animals. In this area were about 90 effigies and conical conical mounds, second largest of any location in the state. Okay, so there was this is the second largest mound complex in the state. Okay, all right. It says starting near Fifth and Remington Streets, they formed an almost unbroken series south on Remington to Mound, westward on Mound, and first to Rosaline, eastward after crossing Second Street, south of the Fairgrounds and College Avenue, where 8 effigies and 12 conical effigies were the first and oldest representing men, birds, and animals. Conical were for burial purposes and of a more recent period. Hmm. Now this says erected by 1982, Barbado, no, Barado, no, Barabu Centennial, whatever in the hell. But yeah, okay. Moving along. Oaks Mound, this is in West Virginia. On the crown of the hill. To the east is a large Indian mound. And to the west of it is a smaller mound. These mounds have never been excavated, but they were probably built by the Hopewellian culture between AD 1 and 1000. Huh. The larger mound is about 12 feet high and 60 feet in diameter. A number of burials of important persons of the culture probably occur in these mounds. Hmm. They would know, huh? They would know. They would know who's important, huh? Indian Mounds, West Virginia. The Indian Mound Cemetery, which is 7 feet high and about 15 feet in diameter, is one of the largest remaining mounds in the eastern panhandle of West Virginia. This mound has never been excavated, but similar mounds of the area dug by Smithsonian institutions suggest this mound might date between AD 500 and 1000 and have been constructed by Hopewellian peoples. Hmm. This one's K3 Indian Mound, Virginia, right? Okay. A short distance north is the Eli Mound, the best preserved Indian mound in Virginia. It dates to the late Woodland Mississippian period, AD 1200 to 1650. Okay. 1650. Remember they supposed to have been pulled up in Virginia in like 1607 or something, Jamestown. So they were still erecting them or whatever, right? Or let's see, or I guess anyway, 1650. That's a weird date. I don't know how these dates just stop. Blah blah blah. Okay, they left that part of the. I doubt they left. You see, they was over there in West Virginia, 100 and some years after this date, destroying forts. During which more complex societies and practices evolved, huh, including chiefdoms and religious ceremonies. Often temples, elite residences, and council buildings stood atop substructure, or townhouse mounds such as Eli Mound. Lucien Carr, assistant creator of the Peabody Museum in Boston, led an exhibition here in 1877. Okay, 1877 is a long way from 1650. That's a long way, but let me just keep moving. By proving the connection between this mound and present day Indians. Okay, hold up. Carr refuted the then popular lost race hypothesis for mound builders in eastern North America. Deep, deep. This was it, the one right here. Lucian. No, that's a dude. But anyway, Lucian Carr refuted the then popular lost race. Okay, we seen that. We showed you how they in that other book they said the Shawnees was way back and the people yeah. Oh, that the Choctaws and all them they descend from the Shawnees, remember? When no, they don't. They of the same people, but they own their own little tribes or whatever, they own nations, they own parts of the land, you know. They own they live in their own land, I guess, you know. That's what would separate a people, folks like that. It's just by what part of the land they lived in. They come along and want to call you this and that, change your name and this and that, you know. They call you what they want to make up and call you when they want to call you that. Okay, this is in Louisiana called the peck mound. What does a pelican do? Peck, what does a woodpecker do? Woodpecker, believe it or not, is indigenous. I looked that up. Ancient Mounds Trail, Peck Mounds. The Peck Mounds site has 5 mounds built along the bluff above Lake Louis. Only 4 mounds are visible today. The largest is platform shaped and measures 18 feet tall and 165 by 180 feet at the base. So it must be triple sided, right? It must be a true, uh, like a pyramid type thing. The smaller 3 are dome shaped. Dome. I mean, it don't have a platform, flat top on the top. It's domed anyway. The smaller 3 are dome shaped and average only 4 feet tall. The entire complex was occupied around AD 750 and 1100. Got it. All right. So let's look at some of these artifacts now. Oh, one thing I wanted to show for sure is this dude right here. Now this is a Mayan, right? Think this is ivory, stone, or something. This is an artifact from Mexico. I just want to show you this on his neck. See this? Of course, he got that big nose, the big lips, right? And he ain't got no long hair hanging down there. He got some of that stuff up there, right? All right. So yeah, this dude was found once again. I gotta point him out because this dude is off the chain. Look at this man. This is a shell art from Oklahoma, the Sparrow Mound. This is look at this dude. He got the pearls, right? He got the stripes. Remember the stripes, because that's gonna come up in a a later video. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna connect you with the stripes. See that thing over his eye? That's some kind of symbol of their culture, right? And they like the animals putting it as ornaments. So, and then obviously the dude was peculiar physiognomy, right? He has a peculiar physiognomy, right? Only one being on the earth has that peculiar physiognomy, right? It prevails them all, right? Pervades them all. Right here. See this face? See this lofty chin? All right, we're gonna move on though. So this right here is something from Virginia, Indian artifact from the mound. But these are the symbols on that dude's eyes. See that symbol there? That's the Birdman symbol, see, on both sides. That's the same thing that was on this dude's eye. Okay, moving on. Here's a dude right here from Arkansas, Little Rock, and it's on a shell, right? See the turkey, see the head of the turkey. It's like a Birdman shell art, dude. Okay. Here's the Georgia one right here. This is a falcon dancer. It says, see around his neck. This is a copper plate artifact from the Indian mounds. Okay. Falcon dancer or something like that. See around his neck though. See the bird thing? That's like a bird mask. They ceremonial type thing. See with something somebody's head in his hand there. That's how they did that. But that was in Georgia. Okay. That was in Oklahoma. This was in Arkansas. Okay. Check these hair picks out. This is a New York mound. Look at that. Two birds. They call it a Native American hair comb. But that's a hair pick. That's an Afro pick. Okay. That ain't nothing but an Afro pick. Here's one from Canada, Pacific Northwest, over that way. Look at this. That's a pick, ain't it? It's a mound artifact. Indian. Look at this one from Kentucky right here. This dude, this look at that's a shell or a bone or something. It's a pick, Afro pick. Period. Look at this one from Alaska. Major. Look at that. Afro pick. That's major right there. Yeah, all this stuff's been hidden from us for a reason. Leave that. Here's one from over there by the let's see Iroquois. Let's see Senecas. See the animals? They always had animals and stuff on things. Like I don't know what that is, but that's another one of them Afro pick comb things. It was more like a comb, but still with the animals, it's unmistakable. Look at this one. Got the horse or whatnot from Iroquois. Okay. Now look at this bowl from Louisiana right here. See with the animal head on it, with those little things like we seen on that wall at that building. And look at this, Georgia. This is a Georgia one. Some like a medal or something. Indian mound artifact. If they don't know nothing about the mounds and they people didn't build them, then they can't say nothing about what came up out of them. You understand what I'm saying? And guess what? You'll look around and you'll see how the Smithsonian Institute or whatever that is, this, that, and the other, how they went and excavated. So that's where the stuff is at. See, you just go over there and be like, hey, I want to see this stuff, you know? Look at this. This is a bones, made of bone. Is these not hair picks? It's not a hair pick. This from Virginia. Those are hair picks, hair combs, not combs, picks, Afro picks. Period. That's all it is. Here's another one. This one is yeah, it's broken up, but look at the man up there. Has three things, three teeth in the pick. You know that's an Afro pick for sure. Here's one right here from that serpent mound. 5,000-year-old serpent mound. Look at this pick, hair pick. See it? That's an artifact, an Indian mound artifact. Okay. Here's look at this. Look at this artifact. See the horns? Remember that ad said that skeleton had horns 4 inches long. Look at this artifact right here. They said also I can show you in a book where 10,000 Indians basically in Florida all had this headgear right here with the horns. That's why you see the horns so many times today. Okay. Here's a pipe. Remember the tobacco? Look at that. Bear head or whatnot. Wolf. It's a wolf pipe. Okay. Look. Bears. They ate bears. Wasn't no chicken, no pork, or no for a long time. Of course, they came in the 1500s. So from 1500s on, I guess they had that, but not as congested because it was a few failed attempts, and then they didn't get going until on the west side of the Appalachian Mountains until right around the 1800s. Late 1700s. Here's an artifact right here from Pennsylvania Mound. Here's another bowl right here from Tennessee Mound. Look at that face. That nose sticking out. Yeah. This dude from Sparrow Mound. This dude's from the same place as that shell artifact we just looked at. See this? See that face? That's unmistakable right there. Stone. That's an artist right there. Okay, let's see. This is something I found online right here. It says Rain Goddess Southeast USA. See the marks on the face? This is stone art. Central America right here. So, I mean Central Mexico. Rain Goddess. Look. And then the Etowah Mounds. That's in Georgia. The great sun woman. Look. All kinds of connections. I'm telling you. Look at this. It's from Illinois. Look at that. Look like an old Olmec in the face. The nose. Come on now. You got to get it right. All you gotta do is look at the artifacts. Look at this. This is from Tennessee. Pinson Mound. Look. The horns. This circle thing, you'll see that reoccurring. And then this thing look like feather crowns or something. Right? Tennessee. Now this is in Arizona. Look at that. The circle thing. Look at that on their heads. Whole family of feather crowns. Now this is in Arizona at the Hohokam Indians, right? See the animals, the drawings, that's and them is artifacts right there. Tennessee and Arizona is pretty far apart, but look, this dude from Ohio. See the things on his head. Same thing this dude kind of got on his head. Well, he got something different, like a plate. Probably because they bashed each other in the head with them big old clubs. But here's a dude from Sparrow Mounds as well. This is a pipe. Mississippian culture. 1600, huh? Look, that's unmistakable. Tennessee right here, look. See these people? See that thing on his head? Anything is a Sparrow Mound dude or what was it? This dude, Ohio. Here's the thing from Maryland. See the wide set nose? Dorchester County, huh? Got it. See these like bare pipes and stuff from the mound. Tennessee, look right here. Look at that face. Same thing on the head as them other things. And it's from the mound. So once again, the people can't say nothing to you about where it came from because they already admitted that they don't know and it didn't get made by them. So who is stepping up to claim they people is what I'm here doing right now. You understand? That's what I'm doing by hook or crook. Check this one out. This is from Arkansas. It's in the Hampson Museum, State Museum in Arkansas. This thing right here, look, got the frog or whatever on it, like the other bowls and pots, the pottery, right? Look at this dude. See that? See them lips? See the short hair? See the nose? See the cheekbones that ain't low, ain't high, but just right? Okay, that's an artifact from Ohio, from the mounds, okay? That they've been making they having their way with because we don't know nothing about it, right? Look at this Hopewell pipe. That's a Hopewell pipe. Look like this other pipe right here, right? Mounds. Okay. While we talking about all this stuff across the water, this is our stuff right here. Do your research, and then bam. See that? See this here? For all y'all uh, who doubt that we don't do the same things our ancestors was doing. Look at this fist right here, this black fist. See that? That's an artifact from the mounds. Cahokia mounds. That's in I think Cahokia is either in Illinois or Ohio. I'm not quite sure. You can look that up. It says face and arm, but look at that. It's that black fist. They don't like that. They know where it comes from. See, when we don't know, they know. Look at this frog right here. This pipe right here. Look. Kentucky frog pipe. See them animals, they have the spirit, but the beliefs, the spiritual beliefs in the animals and stuff like that, spirit animals. So you got to connect it now. Now it's more than just art and just looking at some. Oh, they made that look nice and blah blah. It's an ornament. Nah, it's deeper than that. Look at this brother. See that nose, them eyes, them lips. That's peculiar physiognomy. Okay. Next time you see somebody, you're gonna call him something. Call him a peculiar physiognomy. Understand me? That's what you call it. You dig? Call him peculiar physiognomy. That's here's the owl. I was talking about the owl. There's the owl pipe, right? Owl pipe right there. Look at this right here. They found this in Florida. Remember the so-called the Indian totem pole things? Look where they fabricated that from. It ain't nothing but a fabrication, you dig? Believe that every time. Look at this California bear right here. Artifact mound. Um, Some mound artifact. Check this out. Believe this or not, check this out. This was found, I think, in Illinois. Look at this. Now, what that look like? It's a bird man. Bird. See the bird? Bird head. See the around the neck. See around the neck that thing there. This is what they've been hiding from us. This is our heritage right here. This is the real uh lost information, lost heritage. We thought we lost everything that was to be lost across the Atlantic Ocean, but really it was lost right here. It's right here under our noses, hidden in plain sight. Okay, just do your research. Keep digging, keep digging. You'll find what you need to find. Okay, look at this one, Mississippi alligator pipe. Oh, it says boat stone panther. That's a panther. I'll accept that. Yeah, I'll accept that for sure. That's it. I showed you that one. So you seen artifacts, mounds, what they had to say about a bunch of them, right? And I showed you the correlation with the pearls and on another video, right? There's other things like that we'll be getting into. What's this one? This is called a Rami tablet, right? The same kind of thing though, right? This is from Illinois to Ohio, right? But look at the faces. Those look just like that other stuff going south, right? See, this is but up here. See the feather type thing right there? All that stuff's connected. Yeah, that's the stuff they don't want us knowing about. Our own damn selves. That's crazy when somebody don't want you to know who you is. Damn, it's one thing they don't want you to know who they is. But now they letting you know who you is and who they is. Because man, this is deep. This is real deep. You know, it's real deep. Look at this Cadu, right? That's like Louisiana, Texas, maybe, but Arkansas too, actually. Up Shreveport, all that. At what's the Alexander? But yeah, all up and through there. Look at Turkey. Remember Turkey Town? Remember I showed you the Turkey Town, Cherokee Turkey Town session? That shit all connects. Look at this. It's called the Circle Earthworks in Ohio. See a circle behind a circle behind a circle? Right here in flesh. See? Just like that other thing we're looking at. See the many different circles, see? Circles, circles, like that drawing on the Tennessee wall. Circles with the lines going out like that. So you got that one in Ohio, you got this one in Louisiana. I mean, the drawing of a circle in Tennessee, and one in there's one in actually in Utah too. You could look that up. The major this wall thing out there with the animals and same stuff, same exact stuff. This is look at this major. It's called Monk's Mound. I think it's in Ohio somewhere. You could look it up, but look at the multi levels. So go up. That's a level. Go up. There's a little level over there, and you go up to this top tippy top level, huh? Hmm. Check this out. This is so they call it the Natchez Trail. No, right? Yeah, and it's a trail all the way from down here, basically from Natchez to all the way up through Alabama. Look, Owl Creek Mounds, Bear Creek Mound. See, Boyd Mounds, Nani Waya Mound, Jacktown Mound, Winterville Mound, Grand Village Mounds. I wonder what that looked like. See what I'm saying? I'm like everywhere too. New York, Copperstown. Look, man. Of course, you had to course, you had New York. Look, Louisiana Mount Marksville. Look at this one. Look, got the gate around it like a palisade, huh? This is near Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Like a wall. Look at that. South Dakota, look here. Look at these. They built some kind of walls in front of them. But look how they're all in a row like that. Spread out. That's deep. I bet they actually lived in these ones probably. Look, way out there, out yonder. Mounds. Whole community. Get this one. North Carolina. Look, it's got the structure on top. It's got 4 sides too. You walk up, 4 ramps. Oldest. Bet it's real old. North Dakota too. Look, North Dakota. Look at that. Look, go up in it. See, mounds. Okay, one kind of people making them. Period. One kind of people. You know who made teepees? Yeah, it's, it's a mound, but I don't. It says the Campbell site platform mound. Excuse me. Oh, damn. Yeah. So and then yeah. So let's look right here. See, they built these. See, they have it going right up against the river, and then they would dig out the whole perimeter and make like a whole little creek, so it was like defense, so that people couldn't just come. You'd have to go through some stuff to get to them and stuff. But that was for defense. So whenever you, especially if you live down south and in the southern part, and you see them ditches everywhere, question them. Go online, use your Google or searching the when the particular area that you in or that you looking at or that you from, when it was made, and do your history on it. It's all out there. It ain't that long ago. It ain't like we looking back in time, to where you can't piece things together. Or you got to guess or use your imagination. I mean, this is the digital era. We sitting up here, got all this stuff at the palm of our hand, but we need to use it. So that's all I'm doing. I seen okay, here we go right here. Look. Bottle Creek. Where's this at? This is right there by Mobile, Baldwin County. You go up to Choctaw. No, Washington, Choctaw, Sumter. I think that's Marengo. Uh, then you get up here to some other stuff, Haley and Green and all that. But anyway, see wetlands. See wetlands on the perimeter. See, and then right here you had that. And then you had that. So they had their little barriers. Then all these mounds. See, big old mound right there. Yeah, all over the place too. Never even heard about them. Most people haven't. I mean, trust me, it's like, wow, this is deep. Look at this one. Look like a perfect pyramid right there. It's at the Woodland Indians Mound. Okay, wherever that is. But yeah, we see that they everywhere, right? I showed you California. where they pull the people out of there. I got some images of some out there as well. Virginia, Georgia. Look how this one look. This is deep. Look at this one. See those mounds, multi-level mounds, things with the two houses on the top right there behind the barrier. This whole thing is behind the barrier. Look, with the ditch, then the barrier. That's how the book said they did it too. Just like that. And then on top of that, I was looking at some of them so-called slave ads, right? Advertisements, runaways or whatever. I seen a few times where they would take the sailboat, and then the people would say they're real good at uh on the water. They good forgot the word that was used, but yeah, steep. So yeah, stuff like this. Look, they remade this thing. This is the kind of stuff that the Aborigines had going when they came here. Whole villages and towns and stuff. They called them savages and all that. They did all that to justify what they was did to them and what they was doing to them and what. Yeah, just like they doing now. They make people look like they animals and stuff to justify what exactly that they doing. You see, they kind of covers up what they're doing to them. You know, or doing to us. This is in Shreveport. Look at this. It's like goes up and then it goes up again right there. And then another little small little thing right here. All right. It's getting late. I'm gonna let y'all get it. But I'm back at it. Again, I will hit you off. We're gonna look at some more things. Correlate some more of them dates, get down to the nitty gritty